So you've got a new light you want to put up, or you're trying to put up a new light, and you've got into a bit of difficulty. There's more conductors at the ceiling rows than you thought, and you've got a bit lost and you're not quite sure what to do. So let's have a look. You've probably had a situation like this, had a ceiling rows once you've disconnected all the cables, or you could have a connector block all taped up with a bit of old tape. You disconnected these, you've got all these wires hanging out the ceiling, and you suddenly think, oh, hang on a second, not sure what goes what here. I can't remember what goes where. So you have to go, put all the browns together, all the blues together, and bang, the fuse trips. You got no lights and nobody's happy, and you're not quite sure how to get the lights back on. So let's have a talk through what we need to do. So what you need to get first is some indicator or multimeter that can measure continuity. Voltage indicators have a function where you can measure continuity, put the two probes together, and you get a beep. Multimeters can be a bit more complicated, but they do have a basic function where you can put it on the little speaker symbol, touch the probes together, you'll get a beep to show you've got continuity. You might not understand what the actual numbers mean, but the beep is an indication that you've got continuity there. As long as you've got the multimeter set up, you shouldn't have any problems. But you do need some kind of device like this so you can actually measure continuity. But what is continuity? Continuity is when you've got a continuous circuit, it's a closed circuit. You put your probes on either end of the circuit you want to measure, and if it forms a loop, you've got continuity. You can see here, you've got a loop. Here, you haven't got a loop, it's broken. This would be an example of the switch in the off position. You haven't got flow power going round, it can't go all the way around. If we flick the switch, close the switch so the light will come on, we've now got continuity. Follow around, we've got a closed circuit, so we can get a reading, we can get a measurement. I'll either give you a number reading in ohms, or you can just get a simple beep. So that's basically what continuity is. So what are all these wires hanging out of the ceiling? You've got three cables that come into your ceiling rows, and each cable has got three conductors. You've got your live, your line, your neutral, and your earth, your CPC. One set will go back to the fuse board. One set will go on to the next ceiling rows, if you have another ceiling rows, and one set will go down to the lighting circuit. It's the cables that go down to the light switch that often cause the confusion, because this is where you've got a blue conductor going down, and the confusion often is that people think the blue is a neutral conductor, and as you can see here, the blue isn't a neutral conductor, it's a switch live that goes down to the light switch. You get a permanent live to the light switch and a switch live return, which actually goes on to switch the light. So that's what often causes the confusion. So what we need to do is find out which one of these blue wires is the switch live. So how do we know which conductors are going down to the switch? But just before I mention that, don't forget, this is a dead test. The power's off. Power should have been off a long time ago if you got all the conductors out the ceiling like this. There's no need to have power to do this test. You can do this test with the power off. It's a dead test. Okay, so how do we know what's what? We know what continuity is. We know we need to find a closed loop. So we have to put our probes on the blue and the brown conductors, hang out the ceiling, operate the switch, see if we get a continuity. We won't get a continuity there. Let's go back to the fuse board, those two wires. We can move that there. See? No. Still haven't got continuity. That one's going off to the light next ceiling rows. That's still the neutral going to the board. Obviously you won't see all this. You just got to trust in your meter to tell you what's happening. So we move on to the next conductors. You just got to keep on trying all the different permutations until you finally get the permutation that works. That's still not going to get continuity. This one's actually going to the switch, but this neutral has got a neutral in the ceiling rows, next ceiling rows. Eventually you'll come across the situation where you've got the switch live and the permanent live going to the switch, which you have here. You put your probes across these two conductors, you'll get a reading, you get a beep. You now know that this is a switch live in the permanent live. That's if you operate the switch, don't forget. If you don't operate the switch, you won't get any continuity. So flick the switch, switch it on, close the switch, you'll get continuity. Switch it off, you won't. So close the switch, you get a beep. Open the switch, you won't get a beep. And then you know that what you've now found is you've found the permanent live and you found the switch live. So what you want to do now straight away is mark that up, get some sleeving, some tape onto that conductor. If we can do it, there we go. So because you don't want to forget, you don't want to go through all that again. So you've got that marked up now, so you now know that that is your switch live going down to the switch, and you got your permanent live going down to the switch. So we know which is our switch live. We've got it marked. And what do we do with the rest of the conductors? If you can work that out now, because this is the one that causes the problems, because it's often blue and people put it together with the other blues, and that causes a short. So you put all the blues together, put all the browns together, switch it on, you've got a dead short. It's going to trip the fuse. It's not going to work. Otherwise, sometimes you can connect it to a permanent live, this wire to a permanent live, and the light will never go off. So you can get various different faults. But now we know that this is a switch live. So we know that we can put all the three brown conductors together, as in the ceiling rows. Three brown conductors all together. The two neutrals go in their connections in the ceiling rows. All the CPCs are common together. And this switch line, that's this conductor here, that goes in its own terminal in the ceiling rows, to which you would connect the pendant. The live and neutral from the pendant would go into the switch live and into the neutral connections. So you've worked out what all the conductors are, you get your light back on, and you're not in trouble anymore. But you might be thinking, hang on, my conductors hanging out the ceiling or in the ceiling rows are different colours. That's because a while back they changed the colours. The modern colours are brown for the live, the line, blue for neutral, and a switch line could be a blue conductor with some brown sleeving on it. The old colours, the live, the line was red, the neutral was black, and the switch line would have been black with some red sleeving. The CPCs could just be a bare conductor, often it's just a bare conductor. The older colours would have just been a solid green, the modern is green and yellow. And if you've got two-way switching, the wiring between the switch are known as the strappers, the two switches for your two-way switching. So you can switch lights from two locations. The conductors between them are known as the strappers. The modern colours for them are brown, black and grey. The older colours would have been red, yellow and blue. So it's exactly the same procedure as you saw in the video for finding out what's happening with your wires, with your cables. Just the conductor colours can be different depending on the age of the installation. So after watching this, I hope a situation like this won't cause you any inconvenience or bother or worry, because you know what to do. You know you've got to find continuity between two of the conductors when you operate the switch, and then you know that that conductor is not a neutral, it's a switch live, and then you can connect all the other conductors as appropriate. So anyway, I hope you found that video of some use, and it'd be nice if you liked it, you could say so or subscribe, that'd be lovely. But thanks for watching, and I hope to get some more videos up for you soon. Thanks very much. Bye.